The phenomenon, the visionary, and the king who redefined art. Forget the controversies for a moment. Let's talk about the artist. Who he truly was, not what the media made him out to be. Being Michael Jackson wasn't just about being a legend, it was about embodying art, innovation, and an undeniable global impact. This is the story of how a boy from a humble town in Indiana became the most influential figure in modern music history. Born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana, Michael Joseph Jackson began life as the seventh of 9 children in a family struggling to survive. Far from the glamour of the stage, his modest home was the cradle of unparalleled talent. From a very young age, Michael showed something special, a voice that transcended his age, an innate sense of rhythm, and a stage presence that captivated everyone. It wasn't just talent, it was a gift. At 5 years old, he was already leading his brothers in the group that would become known as the Jackson 5. The world didn't take long to realize that this frail little boy, with a voice that touched the soul, was different. With Michael's talent as the driving force, the Jackson 5 signed with the legendary Motown Records and almost instantly became a phenomenon. Hits like I Want You Back, ABC, and The Love You Save propelled Michael to stardom while still a child. What could have been a fleeting childhood success turned into something far, far greater. Michael wasn't just a singer, he was a visionary. The true transformation, however, came in the 1980s when he embarked on a solo career that would change the world. The album Thriller, released in 1982, wasn't just a success, it was a global cultural event, a true watershed moment in music. With 109 million copies sold, it remains the best-selling album of all time. But the impact of Thriller cannot be measured by numbers alone. It was the way Michael reinvented what it meant to be an artist. He popularized the music video as a cinematic art form, elevating production to an unprecedented level. Videos like Billie Jean, Beat It, and the iconic Thriller weren't just visual accompaniments to the songs, they were short films with complex scripts, revolutionary choreography, and special effects that inspired an entire generation of artists. Amid all this innovation, he gave us something that would endure for decades, the moonwalk. A single dance step, performed for the first time in a live performance, became an instant legend, a symbol of his genius and fluidity. Michael Jackson was adored on every continent. His concerts were more than performances, they were historic events that united thousands of people in a collective frenzy. From Tokyo to Lagos, from Rio de Janeiro to London, his name was universal. He had the power to move crowds with a single gesture, making people faint, cry, and sing in unison. Yet, despite all the stardom, he never stopped striving for perfection. He was meticulous, detail-oriented, and deeply committed to excellence. Every video, every note, every step was rehearsed hundreds of times until it became a masterpiece. For him, art was sacred, and his audience deserved nothing less than perfection. The way Michael elevated pop music to a respected art form is his first and most powerful legacy. He didn't just create hits, he created a new way to see and experience music. Philanthropy, breaking barriers, and a legacy of love. To understand the complete Michael Jackson, you have to look beyond the artist and see the man. Behind the sparkle and crystal-encrusted gloves was an immensely generous heart. Michael was one of the most philanthropic artists in history. He donated hundreds of millions of dollars to charities, children's hospitals, orphanages, and social and environmental causes. His philanthropy was often quiet, far from the cameras that hounded him. He visited sick children and hospitals, bringing joy to those in need without seeking publicity. Songs like Heal the World, Man in the Mirror, and Earth Song weren't just melodies, they were anthems calling for a better world, reflecting his sincere belief that music could be a force for healing and change. He was called eccentric for creating his private amusement park, Neverland. But for him, it was a refuge, a sanctuary. It was a place where children suffering from serious illnesses or coming from troubled homes could forget their pain and experience the magic of childhood, something he felt he had lost. Neverland was his most personal act of charity, a place where he tried to recreate the happiness he never had and share it with those who needed it most. But perhaps his most profound and lasting impact was the way he broke racial and cultural barriers. In an industry dominated by white artists, Michael Jackson opened doors in a monumental way. MTV, which initially refused to play music videos by black artists, was forced to air Billie Jean due to overwhelming pressure from the public and the industry. He became the first black artist to have a video in heavy rotation on the network, and in doing so, he didn't just open the door for himself but for all black artists who followed. He made black culture respected and celebrated as global art. His style, dance, and aesthetic influenced an endless list of artists, from Beyoncé and Usher to The Weeknd and Bruno Mars. Virtually every pop artist who came after him carries a trace of Michael's signature in their work. Michael Jackson is the most awarded artist of all time. He won 13 Grammys, 39 Billboard Awards, and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. But more than trophies, he changed the world. He redefined what a world tour could be, what a music video could do, and how music could unite people. Despite all his fame, he was known for being kind, shy, and reserved. He spoke softly and carried a sincere desire for love and understanding. He passed away in 2009, but his death marked only the end of his physical journey. The myth of Michael Jackson continues to grow. He lives on in every dance step, every inspired music video, every note sung in his honor. He lives in those who dream of being artists, in those who believe it's possible to change the world through music, and in those who, even in the face of pain, choose to create beauty. Michael Jackson wasn't just the king of pop. He was, and always will be, the man who transformed music forever, leaving a legacy no scandal can erase. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next incredible stories. Comment below which celebrity you'd like us to explore in depth in the next episode. Your opinion means a lot to us.